How about JV in San Jose? You're on with Willard and Dibs. Hey, JV, what are you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? I've just been listening to the show. Long-time listener of you guys, the Rose, Steiny, and Guru, and everybody.
Appreciate it.
I don't call very often, but that Draymond clip kind of rubbed me the wrong way. It's such a lack of awareness from Draymond showing on that clip with him and Stephen A. that he doesn't even realize that it's not really on him to decide when he gets his voice back and if he's done enough. Not only that, but if Draymond's not recognizing himself and what role he played in the series in the Lakers and how he didn't have that impact that he normally has on the floor versus AD and LeBron that were his friends. And to not even expand on that or address that, like, hey, I should have played better, hey, I could have done this better, just is such a lack of awareness. And moving forward, I have a question. With the salaries and the new NBA and NBA PA agreement that they had and that everybody was saying was aimed towards the Warriors and the Clippers, how will that affect their moves moving forward and the salaries and exactly how the taxes work?
Yeah, so a few things. I'm not going to jump into something and give you a vague answer and act like I'm a salary cap expert in the NBA. I know that it becomes more punitive for the luxury tax offenders. We'll try to get Bobby Marks or someone like that on soon so that they can explain it. However, I would also add explaining those kinds of things on the radio, usually no bueno. They're very, very, it's convoluted, it's difficult, and quite frankly, for conversations like today, it's kind of irrelevant. I'm more interested in the first thing you said, JV, which is that you think Draymond is lacking awareness for saying this, and you think that you didn't like what he said. He should have said a bunch of other stuff. Here's where I'm going to defend Draymond. You don't get to tell him what his opinion is on why they lost.
Sure. But what he said, JV said, is it was tone deaf. That was what he said.
No,
his opinion of Draymond was that it was tone deaf to come out and say what he said.
That's one thing. The second thing, though, is he wanted Draymond to address his own poor play, which is, I think, a little bit of a head scratcher to me, because when I get on my list of people who didn't play well in the Lakers series, I got to go for a little bit until I get to Draymond.
But you get to Draymond.
Well, I mean, there's not that many players on the team.
Right.
You're going to get there.
And if you look at Draymond's podcast that he released after the ouster to the Lakers, the headline is Steph and Clay missed a bunch of shots and we lost to L.A., and boy, was LeBron better than we were. There was no mention in the headline about his poor play, which rubbed many people the wrong way in terms of accountability.
Do you think Draymond played poorly in the Lakers series?
I don't think that he didn't play worse than Jordan Poole. He didn't play worse than Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
He played worse than Kevon Looney. He played worse than Steph Curry.
I mean, Looney's role shrunk.
Well, that wasn't Kevon's fault. That was Steve Kerr diminished his role.
Yeah, well, based on matchups.
Draymond Green in Game 6 was largely ineffective.
Oh, everybody was terrible in that game.
Until it came time for a post-game hug.
Everybody, but...
And a post-game podcast.
Yeah, I'm not kidding, No,
these are my words.
That's fine.
These are my words.
That didn't bother me one bit.
It bothered me. Okay. I'm saying that it bothered me, and I've said that it bothered me on 3 different occasions now. It bothered me.
Did it bother you when Steph had a long hug with LeBron?
No, because it was not nearly as long, and it wasn't
pretty long.
There was no ear-to-ear grin.
Well,
so,
again,
you're asking me if it bothered me, and I'm telling you that it bothered me. And it bothered more than just me. It bothered many Warriors fans. I know,
because it actually said, the second the game ended, I looked at it and I go, oh boy, here we go. That's going to bother people.
I said the same thing to my wife. I said, I got to make sure I watch this to get a full sense for that.
Yeah.
And then his podcast, he takes no accountability. And then with Stephen A. Smith last night, it's basically, I didn't get my voice till February, and by then it was too late.
Okay, actually, how come? I got a good question here, because does this not count? Let's all listen to this again. This doesn't count as accountability? Is that what we're saying?
We're not playing right now because when you speak about the fouling, when you speak about all of the slippage that we had as a team on the road, not being able to come together, none of those things happen if that doesn't happen, because the voice that I am and the departments that I lead this team in, there was a ton of slippage due to me sitting back, me not saying anything, me trying to allow that situation to play itself out and giving it time to heal. Well, while you're giving it all of that time, guess what? I would say probably by February, I started to feel like myself again and speak more. But guess what? There was 5 months of a season where slippage has just been occurring. And by February, if that slippage has been going on that long, you are who you are. At that point, you've built those habits. You've built bad habits. That is who you are now. So to try to correct them then, it's like, okay, you may get a little better. We did. We ended up in the second round of the playoffs, but not at a championship level.
Tone deaf is what I'm being told. Lack of accountability. He's on ESPN saying we're still playing if I don't punch Jordan Poole. That's not accountability?
No, I mean, that's the elephant in the room. That's not accountability to me. And it's why did it take till February?
Well, no, it took till now. Why did it take till February? Because those things are hard to get over, and maybe they didn't even get over it at all.
Yeah.
But if you're on ESPN saying we're still playing if I don't do that, that's not accountability. He's taking blame for the entire season. That's what I hear. That's not accountability.
It's accountability after the fact. Where's the accountability in the moment?
That's
what I'm looking at.
Okay, where's the accountability in the moment? This is on October 8th, right after it happened.
The embarrassment that Jordan has to deal with, that this team has to deal with, that this organization has to deal with, but also Jordan's family. You know, his family saw that video. His mother, his father saw that video. And quite frankly, if my mother saw that video, I know how my mother would feel. I know what her reaction would be, and I know what her next step would be. And so for that, I apologize to his mother and his father and, you know, his family, his friends that care for him, because that is a sense of, or a level of embarrassment that they have to deal with too.
I just, listen, you can be mad at Draymond. You don't have to like what he's done. You don't have to like what he said. I want to make sure we're being accurate here on what this, I feel like something is being built here. Like Draymond never said sorry. Draymond never took accountability.
Let me ask you this.
Draymond has done all of those things.
Let me just ask you this.
Yeah.
Is an apology at a podium in a press conference setting the same as an in-person, face-to-face apology?
Of course not. Are you under the impression that he didn't talk to him?
I'm not under the impression that he went to his parent. He says, I want to apologize to his parents and his friends. Did he go to Jordan Poole's parents? Did he go to Jordan Poole's friends and apologize? Or was this podium blanket, I'm sorry apology? I mean, what was issued?
I don't know how any of us could answer that other than him, but I certainly...
That's what I wonder.
But if we're going to make an assumption based on everything he said and the fact that they're teammates and around each other every single day, and his feeling that they didn't get to a good spot until February, I'm going to make what I don't think is a very wild assumption that, yes, he spoke to him and apologized.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure he spoke to him and apologized.
I don't know. I just don't know where we're getting this idea that Draymond is not being accountable.
Well, I wonder, and this is my own. This is my own imagination, wondering what happens between October 8th, which is when that press conference was, which was, I think, 2 or so days after the incident. And then you get all the way to February when he finally is able to feel like he gets his voice back. What happened in the 4 months in between? Was it an apology one time and he's going to get over it and we're going to move forward? Or is it a continual work to rehabilitate the relationship? Because what I saw from Jordan Poole all year was an inconsistency, and I saw a disconnect between Draymond and Jordan, Clay and Jordan, Steph and Jordan. Something wasn't right with Jordan Poole, and it's not to excuse Jordan from his responsibility to be a professional basketball player through thick and thin, but I wonder what took place between October 8th and when he got his voice back.
That's fair, yeah. And who knows?